Hi, everyone. Lynn here. Just two quick notes about this show. First, Jane Sabega was going to join Tracy and I as guest host, but she was still traveling when the recording session took place, so she sent me an audiogram with her thoughts on a Victor Webster movie that she absolutely loves. And she's hoping that the drafting panel is going to put it on their final top 10 list. I'm going to publish her audiogram and the panelists' reactions to Jane's over-the-top pleas as a bonus episode next week. I didn't edit it into this show because the show's long enough. The bonus episode will be maybe, 5 or 10 minutes at most. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. You never want to miss what Jane has to say. Second, you're likely going to hear what sounds like chirping or squeaking in a couple of places in the recording. It's just a very happy bird that wanted to weigh in with their own thoughts on the movie titles being picked and ranked. So try to ignore it, try to go through it. Either way, kick back, make one of the themed bevies. There's the Summer Villa cocktail or the Love Blossoms mocktail. Both of the recipes are on our Instagram. And just enjoy the show. And then meet us back here in a couple of days for the Victor Webster edition bonus episode. Thanks. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hallmark Movie Drafts, the monthly podcast where guest panelists are Hallmark movie enthusiasts who love to rate, rank, and debate all things Hallmark movies related. I'm Lynn, your host, and filling in today as my co-host is TikTok's most popular math teacher who shares her hottest takes on Hallmark movies. She's a Hall-Star magnet living her best life on the West Coast, my friend and fellow baseball lover, although we root for totally different teams. It's the one and only Tracy Parry.
I don't know if I'm the favorite math teacher TikToker, because I don't do a lot of math.
No, but you do a lot of great movie ratings and reviews. So Tracy, you are truly, though, a Hallmark magnet. I mean, the number of Hall stars and photos that you have with people in your engagement. There was sometime last year you were actually on a plane with like half a dozen of them, and you were posting pictures.
Yeah, nobody would care that I was on it. They would have cared that Andrew Walker, Lacey Chabert, Erin Cahill, and Cindy Busby were on it. They would care about that. They wouldn't care about me being on it. But we were all going to Christmas Con, Kansas City last year.
Oh, wow.
It's a perk of living in LA, I think.
You've met Victor Webster, right? Because there's going to be a photo on the Instagram. Do you have any Vic Webster stories you want to share with us?
I think the funniest one was at Christmas Con in the Christmas one in New Jersey. It wasn't just me. It was Emily Petraglia and fellow double-deckers and Lisa. I always say her last name wrong. Sorry, Lisa Farione. Lisa, I'm so sorry. I should know it by now. I feel horrible. Anyway, like 3 days before Christmas Con, we decided, we're like, hey, we're all going to be there. And I said, you know what? I can design and make us Fighting Chance with Vic Webster t-shirts. I can make them. I can get them done in 3 days. And I'll bring him to us. And then when we all go meet him, we'll just go up singing the song and all that stuff. And we wore them to the meet and greet part. And everybody in line had no idea what it meant. Nothing. Like they just saw we had Victor Webster's face on our shirts. And we walked up to him and he thought it was hilarious. He said, "Where's mine? Why didn't you make me one?" And I was all, why didn't I think about making him one? I was all, should have made him a shirt. So he wanted a shirt. Anyway, so it was really funny. There's pictures of him pointing at our chests because, his face that sounds really weird. Never mind.
Nope, sounded perfect. Loved it.
Yeah, no, there's no editing on that one. There's Brand Gray's song "Fighting Chance" for Vic Webster, and that whole bit in the Deck The Hallmark podcast was just fabulous, like all last year. So I can't get that song out of my head, especially now that you just mentioned it. Buckle up, listeners. Here comes the Fighting Chance with Vic Webster fight song from Brandon Gray, Deck The Hallmark podcast. Thanks, Bran.
Fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. Was the fighting in the movie? Did someone get hurt? It's a fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting Webster, Vic Webster.
That was fabulous. Thanks again, Bran. Perfect timing for us to introduce this month's panelists. All three of them, I gotta say it, have a fighting chance to win this match. We have two experienced drafters and one person making their first appearance on HMD. They're all Victor Webster fans. They've had several months to rewatch his 17 eligible movies. They've each made their own personal list of their top 10 favorites that they've ranked, and their goal is to try to get as many of their personal choices onto the final drafted list. They get 1 point for every movie title from their list that makes it onto the final list. They get an extra point if that title is in the same ranked position on both of those lists, and the drafter with the most points wins the match. They get HMD baller bragging rights, and they're eligible to compete in the 2024 HMD Tournament of Champions. So aside from the trivia round, Tracy, as the fabulous math teacher that she is, she's going to attempt to do all the scoring in live as we go through this. First up is fellow New Englander. You heard her hot takes last month in our Signed, Sealed, and Delivered show, where we learned that she loves pie and she loves hanging out on staircases with a banister. We are thrilled.
Come on, who doesn't, really?
That doesn't sound too sketchy, but we know what you meant.
Out of context, that sounds horrid.
It only gets worse. We are thrilled to welcome back romance novel author Elizabeth Cullen. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello, I'm so excited. Pie and banisters notwithstanding. It's been a delightful month of Victor.
Has been Victor. You are doing back-to-back double stack HMD appearances because I'd lost my mind a few months ago and had to switch the drafting schedules around. So listeners, that's how Elizabeth ended up joining us last month as a guest co-host for Signed, Sealed, and Delivered, which we literally just recorded like 2 weeks ago. And now she's back drafting today. So Elizabeth, slacker that you are, have you finished writing your second romance novel in these 2 weeks?
So let's see. I have Signed, Sealed, Delivered, Victor Webster, Bramblefest, and a second book to put out. It's been a busy couple of weeks.
Yes, which is why
Wait, I need more wine. Hold on.
Which is why you're drinking wine. So you mentioned that you think the working title of your new book is going to be The Estate.
The Estate.
Okay.
The Estate. The first one was The Dress. This one is The Estate. So it's fitting because it's all about, distilling liquor. It's a great topic.
This is why you're posting day drinking photos. Is that right?
Well, gotta go with my hobbies, The
So
research has been extensive.
Is there a drop date for your book?
There's not. I'm right now, it's finished. It's in editing round 1. It'll go through probably 3 or 4 editing rounds. So I'm hoping maybe by the fall, fingers crossed.
Okay, because I'm dying to make a pair of Elizabeth Cullen, The Estate book earrings. I am wearing the custom earrings that I had made to celebrate National Pride Month. And they show our good friend Alonzo Duraldi's book cover, Hollywood Pride, a celebration of LGBTQ plus representation and perseverance in film. I love these earrings. Those
earrings are great.
Adorable.
And the book is amazing. It's gorgeous. Physically, it's just gorgeous.
Physically, I love Alonzo, but can he not write a book that weighs less than 10 freaking pounds? That book is so
Wasn't
heavy.
His first draft about 100,000 words, I think?
Something like that. Is he getting paid by the word? How does this work?
You would think if, putting that in, but I think it got edited back a little bit, but it doesn't seem by much. It's great. The stories are amazing.
No, they really are. Elizabeth, remind everyone what your Instagram handle is, please. They can follow along for your book.
E.R. Cullen Author, both Facebook and Instagram. And yes, we'll be doing lots of discussing of distilling and, maybe a little bit still of lace.
There's some lace.
I know you're excited for the lace, right? This is great.
Yeah, it's written on my face.
We should do a lace draft. This is what we need. Best lace. I'm very excited. This is great.
I'm sorry, I'm cutting your mic now. Okay, next up. Actually, in all sincerity, next up is another experienced drafter. She was here in November for the autumn research draft. She too is a willing victim of the back-to-back double stack draft attack. I'm so sorry, Erin. I did give you an out though, didn't I? I
You
said
did.
you can change.
Yes, you did. You offered, but I decided, no, I'm up for the challenge 2 months in a row. I can do it. Yeah,
Awesome.
it'll be
Perfect.
fine.
So Erin Rempe, so you drafted autumn research back in November, like I said. That was totally bonkers. And what happened was it was you and Sarah and Jen, and all three of you had Love at the Thanksgiving Day Parade on your personal top 10 lists.
Yeah,
And what
we
happened,
did.
Erin? What happened?
Some serious gameplay, I think. I think we all wanted to win. And yeah, I'm happy with the list. I don't like the movie at number one, but here we are, right? I mean, this is how the drafts go. So hopefully this one goes a little bit better. As far as the
So,
final number one, I should say.
oh, the fun, yes,
Yeah,
because Love at the Thanksgiving Day Parade didn't make it onto the final list.
it did not.
Yeah,
And
those-
I mean, things happen, right? You got to use those vetoes strategically, I think and you have to make sure that it's hard to anticipate what everyone's going to do. So that's kind of where my mind was when I played my last pick for that one. So, yeah.
That's okay. You
Yeah.
don't have to apologize. It's all fine. We don't pick shame here. Yes, we
No.
do. But anyway, so you are coming into this match with a leftover veto from that match. So you can use that in addition to whatever vetoes come with the draft position that you end up with. So good luck.
Thank you.
And finally, our third panelist, last and certainly not least, she is making her very first appearance on HMD, but she'll be back again in 2025 to draft in mystery movie series draft. And it's Jenna. Hi, Jenna.
Hello.
I love your background with Vic
Thank you so
Webster
much.
at all ages, in all poses, with and without shirts, different hairlines.
It's like the montage of his pictures from like back in the days of our lives, charm time.
So are you competitive? Are you nervous at all about going up against two experienced drafters?
I am. I'm very nervous. So they've been through this and we'll see multiple times. I believe Elizabeth's done it at least like twice, right?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I have no strategy. It's fine. And as I have more wine, it gets even more interesting. It's great.
It does.
I think that's the thing, just like from listening to past episodes, like you could say you're coming with a strategy and there is no strategy as soon as it starts, right? Unless it's chaos.
I love it. Tracy, I love the beginning of the shows because everyone's so friendly and happy and optimistic
Yeah, everybody is until
until it isn't.
plays the movie nobody likes, and then
Let's start shifting into gameplay mode. If this is your first time listening, you can pause here and listen to the Hallmark Movie Drafts intro show first. That's where I go over the list of rules in more depth. I talk about the format of the game and how vetoes work and all that kind of stuff, or you can keep listening and you'll pick it up pretty quickly. Eligibility. To be eligible, the movies had to have aired on Hallmark or Hallmark Mystery Channel. They need to feature Victor Webster in a leading role. Cameos are not eligible. And you can see the list of 17 movies on our Letterboxd and our Instagram, and the links to both of those are in the show notes. Let's talk drafting positions for this match. There are 3 of them, A, B, and C. And I'm going to go over what each position gets after Tracy's trivia round is finished. The first person to answer one question correctly gets to choose which position they want. The second person to answer the next question correctly chooses theirs from the remaining 2, and so on. Just remember, if you win the trivia round, you'll also be first up in the veto order for each round. So you're going to be first to declare whether or not you agree with a movie pick or if you're going to veto it. Tracy is going to test your knowledge with questions related to the eligible movies. But before she does that, she's going to go over the trivia round rules. So Tracy, it is all in your good hands.
all righty. So we have 3 rules for the trivia round. Rule number 1 is wait until I have finished asking the question. When you think you know the answer, raise your virtual Zoom hand. No shouting out answers. And I'll see the hand emojis in order and I'll call them out in order. So whoever raised their hands first. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you must state your answer right away. Basically, you got about 2 seconds or else it won't be accepted. And I'll call on the next person whose hand is up. And if no one knows the correct answer, we'll just move on to another question. No hints, no clues. We don't do that anymore. We'll just move on to another question. All right. So, and I'll double check to make sure hands are all down in between the rounds. And if they're not, I'll just ask you to lower your hand. Okay. Are you, ladies, are we ready?
Ready.
Ready? Let's do it.
Okay. Question number one. Here we go. In Summer Villa, what is Matthew's nickname? Oh, it looks like it was Jenna first. So Jenna,
Chef Cupid.
yep, it was Chef Cupid.
Nicely done.
Good job.
Okay.
All right, Jenna. So you get to sit back and think about what drafting position you want. Well,
Okay.
Elizabeth and Erin do get
Okay.
out.
Question number two. What is the name of the town in the movie Home for Christmas set in? Oh, Elizabeth.
Garland.
It is. That's Garland for you, but not the same Garland.
Those were great questions. That was a fast
were.
That was a
trivia
great
round.
question, Tracy.
Everybody was on point.
I know. I had to rewind that one. Go, did he say Garland?
Jenna will be first in the veto order. Elizabeth will be second in the veto order. Erin will be third in the veto order. But right now, I'm going to tell you what the drafting positions are. And Jenna, you can tell me which position you would like. Because remember, Erin, whatever position Erin ends up with, she will have an extra veto to use in this match. So drafter C picks positions 10, 7, and 3 on the list. And drafter C gets 1 veto and 1 veto override card. Drafter B picks positions 9, 6, 4, and 2 on the list. Drafter B only gets 1 veto because that position gets 4 picks instead of 3, so they get more opportunities to try to get their personal picks onto the final list. And drafter A picks positions 8, 5, and the number 1 position on the list. And drafter A gets 1 veto card and a bonus veto. So basically they get 2 vetoes to use. Jenna, what drafting position would you like? A, B, or C?
The fact that Erin has a veto coming into this is making it harder to choose. And since she's like third and well, I just flipped my phone because I don't have a coin near me. So
I like your strategy. That's strong. I like it.
Let's just toss it.
Is B.
B. All right. So Jenna's going to be drafter B. She will get 4 picks, 9, 6, 4, and 2, and she has 1 veto to use. So Elizabeth, you can have either drafter C or drafter A.
Well, I flipped my phone because that's my strategy as well. I'm going to go drafter A.
Elizabeth has chosen wisely drafter A because drafter A gets positions 8, 5, and the number 1, plus they get 2 bonus vetoes. So she's trying not to let Erin have 3 vetoes, right?
Oh, come on. You know, Erin's coming in here with swagger.
Mhm.
Swagger.
Erin is very quiet, but she plays a stealth game and she is
Those are the
giving
quiet
nothing
ones you gotta
away.
watch.
Yeah. Her facial expressions, she's not giving anything away, listeners. You can't read her. So Erin, you are drafter C. You're going to kick off the draft list. You're getting positions 10, 7, and 3. You have 1 veto and 1 veto override in that position, and you have the veto that you've got left over. So you basically have 2 vetoes and the veto override card. When you are ready, let's get this game started. Erin, tell us what movie title you want to offer up for number 10.
All right. So I will pick, I suppose. This is hard. I'll be honest, talk about not giving something away. I didn't want to be drafter C. This is the one thing I didn't want. So my strategies, like you said, Jenna, you have them and they go out the window immediately and we're there already. So I am going to go with, let me just double check here. Matchmaker Mysteries, A Fatal Romance. which is this, yeah.
Yeah, Matchmaker Mysteries of Fatal Romance. So that's Danica McKellar. She's Angie Dove. Victor Webster is Detective Kyle Carter. That's from 2020. So that's the second in the Matchmaker series trilogy. And here's just a little blurb of the storyline that Stephanie Pichelle put together using IMDb or Hallmark's story logs, along with her thoughts or my thoughts added in. So this one is: when a romance writer is murdered, matchmaker Angie Dove gets entangled in another case, and with Detective Kyle Carter together, can they read between the lines to find the murderer? So Erin, why do you like this for your number 10 pick?
I chose it because there are 3 Matchmaker mysteries total. So 3 of Victor's 17 movies are Matchmaker. So I feel like they need to be represented. I didn't necessarily think that any of them had a lot of Victor in them. I think that they were very much Danica and her character in solving the mystery focused. However, I thought the mystery in this one was the best of the 3. The chemistry and the actual banter between Danica and Victor in the second one, I thought was much better than the first. I actually kind of bought into them liking each other a little bit more than the first. And there were a couple red herrings, and I liked that I don't want to give it away in case somebody wants to watch the movie, but the killer was interesting. I thought that that person's backstory and just like, and then I guess they wrote a book, and then that book makes a cameo in the third movie, which I thought was kind of a good little Easter egg. I picked up on that. So I just think it set up for the third one quite well. And I'm a huge reader, so the fact that this was all focused on reading kind of spoke out again to me as well. So that is why I picked number 10 for A Fatal Romance.
All good reasons. Jenna, you're first up in the veto order. What do you think of A Fatal Romance, the second in the Matchmaker Mysteries trilogy?
I'm a big mystery person. So I'm one of like few odd people that actually liked like all 3 of these, and I do watch them consistently. So I do like this one here. I think that they had good chemistry. So unlike, the other ones, these 3 movies, there were no kisses, there was no like kind of romance in them. But they had that, like Erin said, it was a good banter, and like you can see how they settle into the chemistry, especially in the second one. And I just liked them together. And the second one was different than the first, but the second did have some more twists and turns and some different like additional plot things to it than the first one did. So I really liked it.
All right, so you're going to let it slide. What about you, Elizabeth? I don't think there's any lace in this movie. I didn't see any pie.
No, it's 4 for both of those things.
There's no pie, and there might have been a banister. I don't recall. I don't know.
And Erin make wonderful points, because actually what Erin said actually made me think about it differently, in that there are 3, there should be representation. I think that's really valid. It was better than the first one. I was meh on it, for all the reasons that Erin listed. There's not a lot of Victor in it. My biggest issue is, like, does nobody watch a horror movie? At one point there's a noise and the woman like goes downstairs, doesn't call 911. I mean, people, you hear a noise, you lock the door. I don't know,
Well,
you don't go towards the noise.
She had a loofah bar as her choice of weapon. I mean,
Right?
what more that's really helpful in that time of need.
Yeah, let me come, like, loofah you. What?
Mhm.
No, stay upstairs or bring your phone or do anything different than she did. And it was just annoying. I didn't realize, was it really a loofah bar? Really?
It was the loofah from the bathroom. Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse.
Mhm.
So I am not going to veto this, loofah bar aside. We'll
You're
let it
going to let
stand.
this stand? Elizabeth is
Now
going to
it's
let it.
got a loofah, so.
Oh my gosh, Erin, you have gotten away with it. Matchmaker Mysteries: A Fatal Romance is now locked in at number 10. I cannot believe Elizabeth did not veto this movie.
I have bigger fish to fry.
That's right. This is not the
That's
hill.
fair.
This is not the hill that you want to die on. Okay,
Not yet.
Jenna, you are up next for the number 9 pick. What are you going to try to place here? You're making your very first pick. This is going to define you in the history of HMD.
Oh, that's kind of scary. Let's
No
see.
pressure.
I'm gonna go with Magic Stocking.
Magic Stocking. Okay, so Magic Stocking is from 2015. It co-stars Bridget Regan as Lindsay. Victor Webster is Scott. Lindsay is a single mom with an adorable daughter, and is closed off to life after losing her husband a few years back. And at work, she must deal with Scott, a new man to town who's been hired to rebuild the town gazebo. At the town's Christmas craft fair, Lindsay's daughter is given a tattered old Christmas stocking, and the family begins finding items in the stocking. Will Lindsay believe in the magic of the stocking and open herself up to love? Jenna, will she? What happens?
Yes, she
Yeah.
does. I mean, spoiler alert, it's a Hallmark movie. Yes.
Shocking.
I know, right?
Plot twist. Yes.
So I really like this movie because, well, first let me start off with my notes from the end of the movie. I swear my note is, I think she's wearing a bumpet in her hair. So, you got to go back to like 15 years ago when the bumpet was huge. I mean, I got one at work for free. You got to do it. So, I mean, if you can work a bumpet into a movie, that's aces. But I thought they had really good chemistry. They had throughout the movie at the end, like their kisses were good. I have a ranking system on things too, and that was one of them through the movies was kisses. But I thought the storyline was cute, but you have to like, it's a Magic Stocking. So you have to like give a little to go into it. It was a good Christmas movie. There was lots of Christmas around. It's just, I thought they just worked well together. And like, his character was trying to rebuild the gazebo, which is like what his grandfather had done. And I think that just like his character was like pretty good. So that's all.
So your ranking system includes rating the kiss, or does it also
Mhm.
include rating the bumpet, the hair?
Well, the bumpet, they got extra points for it.
They got
It's
bonus
extra credit. Yeah.
bonus bumpet points. I like
Bonus-
this.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So Elizabeth, Magic Stocking at number 9 from Jenna. She likes a good bumpet. How do you feel about bumpets?
I don't know that I have an opinion, strangely enough. Now I'm going to have to think of that.
I think one of your characters should have a bumpet.
That's
Maybe in the
true.
3rd book.
But then I'd have to play with it and research and yeah, I'm completely conflicted. I adored this movie. I loved it. It was fabulous. I cried. It was fantastic. It was magic, and I love it. And I think it's way too low for where it is. I mean, the child actor that played Hannah got the puppy at the end of the film. I mean,
Yeah.
like in real life. I mean, hello, got me. Jenna,
You know
made
what
this
to
difficult.
do. You know what to
So
do.
I didn't, it was one of those that because it was so old, I didn't think that it would be, I played it low because I didn't expect it to be like higher, if that makes sense. So,
Yeah, I had this at 2.
okay.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
You have 2 vetoes.
Don't be doing that, because I know there's a hill I'm gonna have to die on later.
The night is young. There's lots of wine.
Also have the number 1 pick, Elizabeth. So
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it roll. It's gonna stay there. Magic Stocking. I know.
Oh,
I'm gonna go
Elizabeth-
cry in my wine now.
Elizabeth is not going to use her veto. And just as a reminder, listeners, vetoes just remove the title from the position it's played in. Anyone can play it again, anyone higher up on the list if they want to. But Elizabeth has chosen to have another drink, leave Magic Stocking where it is at number 9. And so she's basically trying to get Erin to
Come on,
maybe
Erin.
do the right thing. How do you feel about this movie at number 9?
So this was number 16 on my
Go.
list.
Oh,
I was
Erin.
bored. I was bored to tears during this movie. I feel like I'm going to be banned from everything right now, but
I may cry.
I know, I'm sorry. So here's some of my notes. How can the mayor be so good to Donna, but such a jerk about the gazebo? They are doing a horrible job of making it look like it's cold, thin scarves, no jackets. How is the mom driving a convertible in the winter with the top down? The mayor and mom relationship is more like becoming the A storyline. And well, this is Guilford is the precursor to that's Garland for you. So I even have more notes about inconsistency issues, and I have like 5 notes about Bridget's green purse because I liked her purse better than I liked the movie. So I'm really happy that Elizabeth did not veto this, because I would have used my veto override and then she would have put it higher on the list. So this is perfect, even though it's not on my top 10. It's definitely where it needs to be according to per my list.
I averaged your 2 out, so it worked out.
There we go.
16 and 2. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. So Magic Stocking is locked in at number 9. Tracy, I'm going to have to watch this movie again based on the comment that that Erin has 5 notes alone on the green purse, which I don't even think I remember.
I didn't even
Yeah.
notice the first when I rewatched it. Like,
Same here.
I was,
Yeah.
this one, yeah, there, in my opinion, much worse movies than this one on this list. Like, very bad. But okay,
Everybody's got their own thing. Erin, you'll have to message me your 5 notes on the green purse, and I'll post them on Instagram because I'm sure everyone's going to be emailing me about this.
Got it.
All right, great. So we've got Matchmaker Mysteries, A Fatal Romance at number 10. At 9, we have Magic Stocking, which brings us to Elizabeth, who's going to offer up the number 8 pick. What you got for us?
Oh, okay. Let's get into it. All right.
Do it.
Let's do it. I'm going the Wedding Veil Journey. Not now.
The Wedding Veil Journey. True to form, Elizabeth has led with lace. So,
Yep, I did.
The Wedding Veil Journey. So that's 2023. Allison Sweeney is Tracy. Vic Webster is Nick. So this is the sequel to the very first one that they were in. The Wedding Veil Legacy was in 2022. So in this one, needing to connect as husband and wife, Tracy and Nick agree to set aside work to make time for a long overdue honeymoon to Greece. When they are stranded on a secluded island, they confront their life choices and meet a young boy named Leo. So why do you like this at number 8, Elizabeth?
Lace aside, I know I didn't think I'd say that either. Is it a crazy ass way to pick a honeymoon destination? Yes. Is the security in this hotel for crap? Yes. But let me tell you, like a good bourbon, Vic he's aged perfection is what he is. And if you are not rewinding this to look at the time that he puts that headmaster in his place, that is swoon worthy, let me tell you. He puts his hand on that guy's shoulder. Let me be perfectly clear. Don't ever use that tone of voice with my wife. Hello. There's a lot of steam in this. There's a lot of great Victor in this. That's why I picked it at 8.
You can sell a movie.
And there's lace.
And there's lace. Jenna, has she convinced you to let the Wedding Veil Journey stay at number 8? That was a very good pitch.
I had this lower, like under the 10. Because my main thing is you can't just take a kid out of a country, right? I mean, like you just can't poof. You can magically bring him back with no red tape to New York with you from your honeymoon. But I mean, like, it was interesting to see from the first one, like it had been like a few years that they've been married, no honeymoon. The Post-it notes were really cute. I like that. But again, you shouldn't be communicating with Post-it notes. But I really like their chemistry. I just think that it's a very natural chemistry that the two have. And so I liked it in all the movies, spoiler alert, that they've been in together. But like Tracy said, there are ones worse than this. So I'm out fine with it at 8, even though it was lower on my list.
Jenna very begrudgingly is saying, okay, I'm gonna let it slide. Erin, once again, the lack of enthusiasm here. They are looking at you. They're like,
Right?
girl, you've got an extra veto. Just, you know, don't keep it in your green purse. Use it.
And that's the problem because I can't tell if Elizabeth really truly wants this on the list or if she's doing this as a ploy to pull out one of my vetoes.
Wow, that makes me sound like really smart. Thank you.
I may have did it last time. Um, just saying. Um, so I had this at number 13.
Refill that glass, Elizabeth.
There's going to need to be more wine.
There is going to be a lot of chaos ahead. I can tell. I'm going to veto. I don't think out. Yeah. I don't want to say anything else, but I will use a veto.
Okay, so we're gonna Erin's gonna veto the Wedding Veil Journey at number 8. Elizabeth, what are you going to choose in its place?
Darn, isn't
Number
that a
8.
great question? I am going to go Cry, and then I am going to pick Christmas Cookie Catastrophe.
Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. Honestly, Yeah.
Christmas. It's A, right? A Christmas
yes,
Cookie.
it is. A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. Honestly, Elizabeth, I thought for sure you were going to play the other Wedding Veil movie.
I thought so too.
I can read a room.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. All right. So we have A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. It's 2022. Rachel Boston is Annie. Vic Webster is Sam. Annie Cooper has big shoes to fill when she takes over as CEO of her late grandmother's small town cookie company and is doing her best to help their struggling business get back on track. That task gets more daunting when her grandmother's secret recipe is stolen during the Christmas party. And as Annie tries to crack the case and uncover the culprit, she works with Sam, the owner of a local bakery, to recreate the recipe in the hope of saving the company and her job. This is another Vic Webster baking, cooking, doing something in the kitchen. Why do you like A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe at number 8, Elizabeth?
I really had mixed emotions about this one. They have some zany in this that works really well, and they have some zany in this that is atrocious. A lot of my notes are about me being irrationally angry about different things. But at the end, I kind of have to go back to, yes, this is Victor in the baking and the single father. And he actually, I think his portrayal in this is really, really great. And I think for that alone, that and his chemistry and his willingness to embrace the zany, the whole, with his daughter in the ballet and all of that, and learning the moves, I think he really kind of opened up a little bit in the role, and that's what I liked about it. For all the things that I didn't like, that really kind of won me over.
He makes a good dad, doesn't he?
He does make a good dad.
He really does. He makes a DILF. Did I just say that? I don't know.
Was that your outside voice?
Yeah, I think so. I'm thinking out loud. Oh my gosh. We'll fix that in post. Don't worry about it, people. Okay,
Please do,
Jenna.
because then
Or not.
Yeah,
Or
there's
not.
a joke to be made about calling him daddy at Christmas Con, and we need to take that out too. That would be bad.
Hallmark Daddy takes on a whole new meaning. Okay. Jenna, save us. What do you think of Christmas Cookie Catastrophe, the replacement pick for number 8?
I actually had it higher on my list, so I'm perfectly fine with it. Basically, everything Elizabeth said. Most of these movies, if there's a kid in it, is a daughter or someone else's daughter, and he's just always, every movie with the kids, he's always really good. And this one, I thought he, like Elizabeth said, with the ballet moves and things like that, and I thought he had good chemistry with Rachel. And at the end, their kiss was one that was a pick up and turn, but like after the kiss. But like it was like a fun one. I liked it. So I'm fine with it being here. Yeah, I had it higher, so I'm good.
All right. Jenna's good with it at number 8. What about What about you, Erin? You still have a veto left. You've got a veto and a veto override.
So I know Elizabeth and I have not seen eye to eye so far, but here we're like perfectly in sync. I had it at number 7, so I'm good with it. And really everything Elizabeth said, from the hijinks to Victor, is exactly what my notes. I mean, exactly. I thought Victor really shined in this one, which was really nice to see, based off of some of the other ones. The hijinks were fun. Once I kind of got over some of the, like Elizabeth said, some of the not so great ones. So I think this is a perfect spot for a Christmas cookie. I'm not going to say that word. I can't say it. I've had too much wine.
Catastrophe.
Yeah,
Oh
thank
yeah.
you.
What are you drinking?
Oh yeah, I am drinking the Summer Villa with the peach vodka and wine and other stuff.
Great for you.
I don't
Real.
normally drink, so you can cut that out.
Oh, that's perfect. That's one of the themed bevies that
Yeah,
that
there's
Erin Beth came
grapefruit
up with.
juice,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's delicious. I
It's
highly
good.
recommend it.
Yeah, that is great. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Tracy, before we get to number 7, what do you think of A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe? Do you like Rachel Boston? Did you think they were a good couple? What did you
Yeah,
think?
I like this one. Like you guys were all saying about him, he plays such a good single dad, obviously in all these movies, but he's with the kid. And it just makes him even that more endearing, and like you just go, oh, he's a big hunka, but then you go, oh, he's a softie too. Yeah, she's kind of, oh yeah. So I love this one, was on my top 10 as well. So I did like it. The cookie storyline, the recipe storyline, meh. But yeah, to get to see him in a kitchen, this time baking. Yeah. Because him in a kitchen too. There's quite a few of him in a kitchen, which
Boy likes to cook or
don't poo-poo that.
something.
That's pretty good.
Exactly. Okay. Jenna, no, actually, Erin, it is back to you for number 7. Guys, we are moving right along. What are you gonna throw out to us for number 7, Erin?
Okay. In all sincerity, puppy love.
In all sincerity, puppy love. Now, I don't know why that needs a preemptive disclaimer at the front. Puppy Love is from 2012. It is CCB. Candace Cameron Bure is Megan. Vic is Ben. And when single mom Megan moves to a new town, she feels guilty for uprooting her 10-year-old daughter, Caitlin, and adopts a dog, Jake. Megan's beautiful new home is now a shambles, and as Megan considers returning Jake to the shelter, handsome ball player Ben shows up claiming that Jake is his dog, the regrettable outcome of his roommate leaving a gate open. And Ben wants to take his dog and leave until he sees that Caitlin loves Jake as much as he does. Puppy love. What did you like about this?
So the disclaimer is because I know that there is a lot of varying opinions on CCB. So that's why I kind of threw that out there. I truly enjoyed this movie. It's from 2012. There were some really kind of actually funny jokes in there, like he's well trained. That's how I like him for Hallmark. I thought that was pretty clever. I did think that CCB, or Megan's character, was absolutely atrocious. I do feel like there was one time when she was like sneering at Jake, and that's how I envision that she sneers at the queer community sometimes. But overall, I thought that Jake it had a lot of Ben or Victor, and that's what I really enjoyed. And he played a really sweet guy, the way that he befriended Megan's daughter and even got her that guidebook so she would know where to go, and how he was willing to share Jake with her when he didn't have to. He was just a upstanding, nice guy who I was like, why can't I find you? So for those reasons, because there were some really funny lines, he was a great guy. And then there was this one line, and it really just kind of made me tear up a little bit. The one part when Megan was actually not a horrible person, she told him, a dream as big as yours is a part of you and you have to chase it. And that's truly a beautiful line. And I think we all can just heed that for our own daily lives. So puppy love at number 7.
Oh my goodness, that was That was a lot to unpack there. That was beautifully said.
Thank you.
That was a roller coaster explanation. I was laughing and crying at the end. It is something we should all take with us. But Jenna, are you going to take it? Are you going to let Puppy Love stay on this list at number 7?
This was my number 17. I hated it.
Here
I
we are again.
absolutely hated it. And it's not because of CCB. It was just a horrible movie. It had one of the worst lines I've ever heard in a movie. The very end, when he's asking her to go to the baseball game, and she says no, and he's like, I can't believe you've never gone. And she goes, well, I've never dated a baseball player before. You don't need to date a baseball player to go to a baseball game. Like, no. So while you have your little corny line, that was the worst line I've ever heard in any Hallmark movie ever.
I did make that comment. I actually wrote that down too, Jenna. I hear you.
God,
I
it was
agree.
bad. But there's a part of me that I think that you're just trying to pull a veto. So I'm just gonna let it go, because as long as I hate this movie, I'm not gonna lose my one veto over
Come on,
this
Jenna. Come
horrible
on.
movie. No, because if she honestly does like it, she can play it later, and that would make the situation even worse.
Oh, Jenna is using some strategery here in her thinking and leaving it to you, Elizabeth, with your 2 vetoes as you're telling her, come on, Jenna.
Come on, Jenna. I thought you were going to take the bullet for me because I hate this movie so much. It is last on my list. My biggest problem is that this movie makes me feel panicked for the escaped and missing dog for so much of it that I never come back. It just stressed me out from the beginning. They mess up clicker training. Erin, thank you for letting me see the good parts of it that I obviously missed in my stressed out state.
Does this mean you're going to leave it? Are you going to veto it? You have 2 vetoes and
I
you
do.
you've hardly had any wine. So you're very clear-headed right now.
Oh, ye of little faith on me being clear-headed. You're assuming I started drinking when we started this. You assume I didn't pre-game. Okay.
Tailgating in your own house. I love this.
Yeah. There are movies that I actually dislike more, which is surprising. So I'm going to leave it at number 7, and I will hate myself in the morning.
Oh,
I know, Tracy. I know. I know.
Puppy Love at number 7.
Travel one. Who's gonna
Listeners, do not DM me about anything.
I'm ashamed of myself.
Elizabeth gave you her Instagram handle. Send your comments to her.
Oh.
And with that said, without, this is not a spoiler alert. I'm just going to tell you right up, folks. I have Puppy Love at number 6 on my personal list. So 1 notch up because of dogs, just the dog. Anyway.
Wait, Tracy, where was it on your list?
Last.
Thank you.
thank you.
Last.
It's we're split.
I couldn't even finish rewatching it. Like,
Well,
like,
I had rented it from the library, and I went to go watch it, and my TV broke that weekend. I said, even my TV doesn't want to watch the movie. Like, it says something right there.
bad, so bad. And I love dogs. Dogs level it up. Dog levels it up. And that did not level up this movie enough for me to even bring it up from the bottom. Still there. Still there.
I can't justify it. What can I say?
And it had baseball in it. Pseudo baseball in it. And still, no.
All right, here's a quick recap. State of the list. Here we go. At 10, Matchmaker Mysteries, A Fatal Romance. At 9, Magic Stocking. At 8, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. At 7, yes, you heard it here, Puppy Love. And at 6, Jenna is going to offer up what? She's thinking hard.
I'm afraid.
Me too.
She looks really serious.
I have them like divided, like in what I like and what it's hard. A Harvest Wedding.
Oh, A Harvest Wedding from 2017. So that's Jill Wagner. is Sarah. Vic Webster is David. So Sarah Bloom, an up-and-coming wedding planner in New York, is hired to plan the most anticipated wedding of the season. However, she learns the bride is from her hometown of Williamston, Mass, and wants her wedding on the family farm, which is now being run by the bride's older brother, who is also Sarah's first love. Marcus Rosner is in this. Andrea Brooks are in this as well. A Harvest Wedding 2017. Tell us all the things you love about this movie for number 6.
This was like a fun movie. It was very fall-y. I liked their chemistry. It wasn't like I thought they had chemistry, but like to me, I think there was some better between some of the other actresses, but I liked it. I liked that we had Marcus Rosner in it for a little bit and Andrea Brooks, like just that side story, like the storyline with them getting married. I just liked how they interacted. The wedding planning thing, I kind of like, it's like there's a line in it I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember it, but like you can't, when you're married to your work, you're, about not being married, like finding that person or whatever. And I think that held up. And it was just the fact that they had that past dating history. I mean, it just worked. I like this one better than their other one they were together. So I just kind of put this up there. It's technically not 6 on my list, but it'll do for here.
All right, so
Because of
it's
puppy love.
technically not
I'm sorry.
6 on our list, but this is quite a list so far. So Elizabeth, you are first up in the veto order because it was Jenna's pick. What do you think about Jill Wagner and her chemistry with Vic Webster in this movie, A Harvest Wedding?
Yeah, their chemistry is on point, and that kiss at the end is killer. I had this at 4, so I'm not going to complain a lot. There are things about it that I don't like. Her car accident is dumb because she's staring at him in the rearview mirror. Please, I love that she puts herself out there and is very upfront about her feelings, and then he shuts her down, and she is far too nice for him because I would have kicked him in the shin if I got that shut down. Let me tell you. The whiteboard, gives me anxiety, but in the end, their chemistry is great. There's fun fall feels. It's a good movie. It's a good time.
Thanks for mentioning the fall feels, because in the fall feels draft, which Daniel Panda was part of, this movie made the list. It's a good choice. That kiss at the end, that tree, the whole thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can almost forgive that it's a wedding planning movie, almost. But I mean, I could forgive it. I don't know if Erin can forgive it. Erin, can you forgive the wedding planning if we have a Harvest Wedding at number 6?
Yes, I had A Harvest Wedding at number 8. So I didn't love it, but based on some of the other movies, I thought it was really good. Everything you both have said already, the chemistry is on point. I could watch those 2 all day. I thought the fall feels, so I feel like I'm a mini panda sometimes. The fall movies are my favorite, so I really got sucked into those. I hate that we don't get those anymore. So yeah, this at number 6 is fantastic.
Yay. All right. We have locked in A Harvest Wedding at number 6. Tracy, what did you think of this movie as we're waiting for Elizabeth to think about what she might want for number 5?
I like this one. I really like Jill Wagner. I agree with Jen. I like this one better than the winter one that they did together. I don't mind wedding planning movies. I mean, I'm kind of getting bored with them a little bit, but I don't mind them so much. And this one, I love the country feel. Like it's not a big city wedding. It was cute, and the farm and all the feels. So like I said, they say they do fall autumn movies, but they don't anymore. So this one was a nice one with that, and the way that she incorporated the mom in redecorating and kind of tricked her into liking that. And I just, and then using the farmer's market and all that stuff. I just loved it all. I think it all worked out. So yeah, it was on where did I have it on my list? I had it at 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 on my list. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Elizabeth, before you tell us what your number 5 is, Vic Webster on a tractor. The only thing that was missing, Vic Webster was not on a horse in this one. That was the only thing I was hoping for in this movie.
That was a missed opportunity, I think.
It was a missed opportunity. I knew you would
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What are you going to offer to us for number 5? We are getting halfway through the list here.
Okay, before I give you number 5, I'm going to need more wine.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we can take a break and I can get some more wine and get prepared, maybe put some bourbon in my wine. I'm going to have to brace myself for this.
Bourbon with your
Go
wine.
for it. Okay, so we are back. Elizabeth is all liquored up. She is replenished. She's refortified herself. So,
I am.
what are you thinking now for
All right,
number 5?
everybody buckle up.
Here we
Let's
go.
do this. I'm going The Wedding Veil Legacy for number 5.
The Wedding Veil Legacy at number 5. So this is the one from 2022. Again, it's Allison Sweeney, it's Tracy, Vic Webster is Nick. So this is the third installment of the original trilogy. And in this one, Tracy, Allison Sweeney, is skeptical of love and the veil. And when she meets Nick, he's a restaurateur. Nick helps Tracy save an original draft of the new Colossus in exchange for her helping him run his restaurant. This does not seem like a fair trade to me, but whatever, people. Tracy begins to feel uneasy, as she should, as they get closer. Will the veil prove to be magical for her, despite her cynicism about its legend? I don't know. What do you say, Elizabeth? I know you love this veil. I know you love this lace. Tell us why you love this movie.
You know what? Take the lace and the veil out of it. Again, things I would never say, right?
Take it off. Toss it.
Take it off.
Toss it.
The reason I love this so much is because of just the play between the two of them. Because they are together so much in the movie, I think it shows a fantastic progression of their romance and how each of them is kind of warring within themselves of wanting to get involved in the first place. And it almost happens by accident. I think there's some really wonderful moments, like when she's trying to pitch that billionaire or whatever at the breakfast place, and he's standing outside watching her. And when he sees she gets to sit down, he's so happy for her. It's just, he celebrates her so much. They've got great banter, great back and forth. The kiss is lovely. And her earrings the night of the auction with the sparkly scarf when Victor does that awesome kiss is a killer look. For me, it comes down to the chemistry between the two of them, but also the acting portrayal of their hesitancy to become involved and their struggle with that. So veil aside, I mean, the veil is just an added bonus with lace, but veil aside, I think it's really between just their chemistry, the two of them, and how they approach and eventually get over their reservations.
Jenna, that was a passionate and sincere and well thought out, conviction. Quite a
Jenna,
plea.
have I told you how pretty you look today?
And Jenna has changed her background again with more Vic Webster. I'm seeing lots of shirtless Vic. Oh wow.
Love it.
Well, it went
It's
from
awesome.
These are the days of our lives, guys, from like a soap opera digest shoot or something. So you got him in the flannel looking at each, and
yeah.
then you got them all like shirtless or white tanks.
Beefcake Vic. Yeah.
Yep. I actually had this movie higher. It was one of my favorites. I'm going to be honest. It was the one that ranked the highest for a kiss on my thing. Take the
Is it
lace out
because
of
she
it.
doesn't carry a purse?
Well, I mean, you're a New Yorker. I guess you don't carry a purse according to that movie. But take the veil out of it, because here's the thing. I related a lot with her character in this movie, with like not believing in the veil, being single, having that relationship where you're in it. It's a good relationship, but you know that it's just not going to work, right? No matter what you do. And then you get Victor Webster, and like, how can you deny him, right? But they had really good chemistry. Love their storyline. Like, it progressed through the movie, as Elizabeth said. I just really, really liked it. I just related to it. The only thing I had a problem with was her working out on the trampoline wearing work clothes. That was my only thing. Beyond that, because every time she did that, I'm like, she's still in full makeup, wearing her work clothes, to which one of it was she wore beige joggers to work, but whatever. But she was still wearing that whole ensemble while working out on the main trampoline. That was my main issue, but I love the movie, so I have no problem with it, Elizabeth.
Yes.
You've driven me to drink.
Puppy
I
love
get
didn't
better
drive you
with
to
age
drink,
and
but yet
alcohol.
this does. Come on.
Okay. The Wedding Veil Legacy. We're 2 out of 3 now. Erin,
Yes.
what do you think?
Jenna, I am so happy you didn't veto because I would have had to veto Override. I love this movie. It's on my list as well. Thank you for playing it and not Journey again, Elizabeth. I loved everything you said, Elizabeth, but really the progression of their relationship is so endearing. And watching them actually fall in love was fun to watch. It was beautiful. And yeah, I sometimes to what Jenna said, her clothes, like what was she thinking? But I mean, the storyline and the romance was fantastic. The lace and the not the lace so much, but the veil kind of ruins it, the whole story with the veil. But if you can overlook that, you have a really solid Hallmark romantic story. So I love it.
Erin loves it. And listeners, clearly, if you can overlook the Wedding Veil in the Wedding Veil Legacy, this is a banger movie. Tracy, what do you think of the Wedding Veil Legacy?
It's my favorite of all the Wedding Veil movies. I'm not gonna say it's like super great, but I love these two together. I love Vic. I love Alice Sweeney. Her name is Tracy. Come on now. So every time he says Tracy, I just go, yes.
He's talking to me.
Yeah, and I just, we get to see him in his little chef's coat again, but like you're saying, when he's like he's rooting for her so hard because he just likes her so hard. And it just seems like more of a true like relationship, kind of starting out as, and if it wasn't for the veil, they would have never met. I mean, and I'm not saying because of the magic, she went to go get it fixed and he was there. So that I don't like, not the magic part of it, but that's just the way it happens, of course, conveniently. And we get to see him in an almost tuxedo, and then, and he gets to say Tracy a lot. Why wouldn't I love this one? Why would this not one be my favorite?
Why wouldn't it? It makes perfect sense.
Wait,
All right.
wait. Does this mean that the Wedding Veil Legacy is number 5?
It does. It means that
You're gonna text in?
yes.
Wait, do you hear that?
Yeah.
That's a little bit of Daniel
heard that,
Thompson's
Daniel?
soul. Yeah, Daniel Thompson's soul just died a little bit. And I'm here for it.
I think those boys were too hard on these movies. That
Mhm.
They were.
Mm-hmm.
They were.
They were. But let's not forget that almost every single one of you said, take the Wedding Veil out of the Wedding Veil Legacy. It's a good movie.
I'm just saying.
It's good. It's all good. All right. Here's a quick state of the list. At 10, we have Matchmaker Mysteries, A Fatal Romance. At 8, Magic Stocking. I'm sorry, at 9, Magic Stocking. At 8, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. At 7, Puppy Love. At 6, A Harvest Wedding. At 5, we just locked in the Wedding Veil Legacy, which brings us to Jenna and number 4. What are you thinking, Jenna?
I'm gonna go with Mystery on Mistletoe Lane.
Ooh, Mystery on Mistletoe Lane. So that's from 2023. That's just last year. Sarah is Heidi. Vic Webster is David. New to town, Heidi Wicks and her kids discover a Christmas mystery in their historic home, and a local handyman and historian, David, help them out along the way, finding his own surprising connection. Did they have a good connection in this? Jenna, what did you think?
I think they did. I thought they had good chemistry. They had a good kiss at the end. They had the Christmas fern towards the end. I like it was like a true ensemble cast in a way, with with the kids, with the mystery, and then Victor's dad's character getting involved in it, and then it just coming out with him at the end, who he was, and just like it kind of, to me, like I rewatched this the other day, it kind of like closed his chapter, right? Like something that he's probably been wondering forever. I just thought Victor was really good throughout it. He's always just, we've said it before, he's always really good with the kids in the movie. He's always like a gentleman, like she stole his sweater. The character always just like, helps out. It was a fun, I know it was like technically a miss on the Mysteries and Movies channel. And it wasn't like a mystery like the other ones that he's been in, but it was cute. I just really liked it. And I thought, again, they had really good chemistry. So.
Well said. Very well said. Elizabeth, there's no weddings in this one. There's no veil in this one. Did you like
Maybe
it?
that's why I'm meh on it. But it does have Christmas. So it does have that. I don't know.
They took the veil out of the mystery. Come on.
If we had put a little lace in it, I'm just saying.
There you go.
No, I think Jenna's on point, but I just didn't get as connected with this one. I don't think. It didn't annoy me. It didn't stress me out, but it was okay. It was solid. So is it higher than I want? Sure. But, I'm just going to bask in my wedding veil legacy glow for a little bit, and I'll pay attention in, number 1 and 2.
So you're gonna leave this at number 4?
I am going to leave
running out of runway here.
I know, right? Jenna's right. What can I say?
Jenna's right.
I think I just heard Elizabeth say she's not going to veto my number 3, no matter what I play.
That's what I heard.
Oh.
Well, Erin, are you going to veto number 4? You're going to veto?
No.
You like
Mystery at Mistletoe Lane is good on the list. Everything Jenna said is spot on. The scavenger hunt was fun. The dad's horrible, but what do you do? It's part of the story, so I think we're good.
You think we're good?
Yeah.
Tracy, did you like this movie?
I did. I liked this movie. I was just, as I was rewatching all of these. Okay, so Fred Henderson plays Wallace WP, right?
Yeah.
How many times has he played a dad in a Victor Webster movie? After watching these, I was like, it's the same guy again. That's the same guy again. Like, it's got to be at least 3 or 4. I mean, I didn't go through.
He was in 3 of the movies that I watched recently. Yeah.
Yeah, because I rewatched all of the
Victor's
last couple of weeks. So everything's really fresh in my head, and I was like, he's showing up a lot. Like, anyway, I like that actor. I think he does a great job as a grandfather, fatherly figure. Even though his character here is questionable, but but I did like this one. I liked the little find the reindeers and go for a scavenger hunt. It was more of a scavenger hunt movie than a mystery movie, but I liked it.
I love scavenger hunts. I am all for it. Scavenger hunts, piñatas, the traders, any of that. Sign me up. Sign me up. All right. So we have Mystery on Mistletoe Lane locked in at number 5. Erin, this is going to be pick number 3 for you. It's your final pick. You still have a veto and a veto override left in the match. We're at the final 3. What are you going to offer up?
Love Blossoms.
Love Blossoms. So 2017, Chantel Van Santen is Violet. Vic Webster is Deck. Perfumer Violet is desperate to formulate her late father's unfinished signature scent, and under great pressure to finish by Valentine's Day, she hires an experienced botanist, Deck, with an uncanny ability to identify scents, and it's not long before their professional relationship turns romantic, threatening their deadline and feelings for each other. All while the notorious copycat perfume queen, Olivia Kane, one of her longtime rivals, is hoping for and plotting her failure. Brittany Bristow also stars in this, doing an accent of some kind. This was ranked number 4 on the best 7 filmed on location drafts that I mentioned at the top of the show that Kate and Tracy faced off in. And we'll see if this is going to stay at number 3. Tell us why you love it.
Well, first off, Brittany Bristow, right? She's amazing and fun. The scene where she like picked up the lunch after they threw it away had me like laughing out loud. It was fun. But more, I thought that Chantel and Victor had really good chemistry. Obviously, since they got married after the movie in real life, even though it didn't last. But I just overall, I really thought that they were sweet together. I liked how he was able to kind of open her eyes to there's more to life than just your job and trying to recreate this formula. I also understood where she was coming from and the passion she had for why she wanted to recreate it with her dad's passing. Um, the filmed on location was beautiful. I mean, it was gorgeous seeing them walk around, and I think they were in Belgium, and seeing the sights was awesome. It added to the movie. There are some wait whats. I have them listed. I won't go through them, but I mean, let's be honest, there were. But truly, I really enjoyed their, again, watching them throughout the movie be able to develop an actual relationship and how he was able to help her succeed on something that was so important to her. Yeah.
I can't think of the actor's name off the top of my head, and I didn't make a note of it, but truly one of the worst boyfriends in history for Violet's and a business partner or wannabe business partner. I don't know. He was he did a bang up
Wasn't that
job.
Callum Blue?
Yeah,
Yes, he was
Callum
horrible.
Blue.
Oh,
Good call.
can I add one last thing? There was
Sure.
a little nod at the end to Brittany, and which was to Brittany Bristow and then Deck's friend. And they would be an interracial couple. So for 2017 Hallmark, I know they didn't really act on it, but I did catch it, and I'm like, there's a little nod there that we need to celebrate and at least recognize. So
Good call. Good
yeah.
call. All right, so lots to celebrate and recognize, but Jenna, it's all up to you. Are you going to let this one stay at number 3?
Yeah, I will let it stay. I did have the note about Stefan being a butthead, and I had different words, but I don't need you to slap an E on here because of me and my
Thank you.
wording. So, but the one thing that like I agree with everything Erin said, but like I somehow got captions on my TV and can never turn them off, and I'm grateful for them now because at the very end, like when it's like the year later, and he pulls out the box or whatever, and he goes, "What do you think?" She says, "What?" He puts the ring on, then she says, "Yes." So like, just a little funky, but thank you for captioning that. It tells you the order that just, whatever. But yeah, it was a good movie. I like them together. Everything Erin said, ditto.
Yeah, they clearly had some good chemistry. Elizabeth.
Erin.
Oh boy, here we go.
Erin, I had this exactly at the same list, number 3 on my list. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Everything you said, and there's some really fantastic scenes, like when he puts the perfume on her wrist and smells it. Ugh, woman, get me ice. It's so good. And honestly, the movie deals with grief in a very real way. Like when that vital that she carries around her neck, when it breaks open on the floor, just her visceral reaction to that. I think it deals with grief in a great way, but it also has a lovely attraction between the two of them, the chemistry between the two of them. I mean, and the backdrop is gorgeous. And hi, riding a motorcycle with Vic Webster. Hello. So yeah, not vetoing this sucker. It's great.
I'd ride anything with Vic Webster. The tractor, the
right?
horse, the
The
motorcycle.
camel. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Camel,
Just bring it. Yeah.
Camel. Honestly, that's great. All right, we've got Love Blossoms at number 3. Wow, Jenna, this is you now with your last pick for the match. What are you going to place at number 2?
So I have a clear number 1, and I'm hoping Elizabeth has the same number 1. So I'm going to play the one it's not. So I'm going to play 5 Star Christmas at number 2 because it was really, really, really good. But my one thing keeping it from like really going to my number 1 is I don't like movies with a lying trope. And that's like what this was in it. even though you could figure out pretty early in the movie who really the reviewer person was. But they had really good chemistry. The part where like she sprains her ankle or whatever, and he brings her in to put ice on, and he literally just lifts her up and goes, "Whoop," and she's like on the counter, like just be flung by Victor Webster. Go for it. Like that was great. Um, again, I just didn't like I just don't like the lying trope. That's the only thing that was holding it back for me to being number one, in my opinion. But I liked, again, the ensemble. I liked, it wasn't the best like performance by them faking to be like, other customers or whatever. But, I liked how the sister got her thing where she kind of figured out who she was, it was like Bethany's character, she kind of lied, but so did Victor's. And I liked how the dad, found somebody, and I just thought it was the really good storylines. It's just, I just couldn't get past the lying trope to make it like 100%. But I mean, their chemistry was incredible. Again, him just flinging around the counter, yeah, that was great.
So, so 5-Star Christmas is Bethany Joy Lenz is Lucy. This is from 2020. Vic Webster is Jake. So just the height difference between the two would allow for that BJL flinging, because he's like 6'5" and she's like 5 something, tiny. So Lucy Ralston and her siblings are surprised when their dad converts the family home into a B&B, when famed travel writer B. Turner unexpectedly shows up. And to make the struggling inn look more successful, all the Ralstons pretend to be guests, and they have to maintain their charade for the whole duration of B's visit. But another guest, Jake, checks in unexpectedly about the same time. So as Jake and Lucy grow closer, Lucy feels terrible for deceiving him, but then Jake has a secret of his own. So yeah, there's this great ensemble cast, lots of funny scenes. Elizabeth, this seems like this is your vibe. What do you think of this movie for number 2?
I was just so afraid that Jenna was going to come out with like Home for Christmas Day, and I was going to have to lose my ever loving mind. Thank you. I've been holding my vetoes because I hate that movie. And I literally, I thought she's going to come out with it right here and my life is going to end. So 5-Star Christmas in comparison, I'll take it.
I was watching your face. I didn't know from the reaction what that meant. I'm just like, oh, I guess I'll find out in a minute. But
it is lower on my list just because there's not a lot of Victor in it. But you're right. The scene when he tosses around the countertop. Hello. Yeah. Hi there. Rewind that sucker a couple of times. I'm not crazy about when he sings. It just,
that was horrible.
Oh, it's my favorite.
I know. I just can't
Wait,
stand the
who said
awkward.
was that you, Tracy, that said it was your favorite?
Yeah.
I love it
Tracy.
because it's so bad.
It's so bad, Tracy.
When he interviewed with the guys, he even said, but he went for it. And I
He
feel
did.
like somebody who's in love is going to go for it, and they don't care what other people think. That's what makes it so endearing to me. I love it.
It makes me feel a little better about it, Tracy, but oh man, that is rough to watch.
Oh,
It's like a car crash.
I muted the
Why
section.
do we all go and listen to karaoke though?
Yeah, no, I don't.
No, I don't.
I'm the only one that likes to go listen to karaoke because people are bad.
I do.
I enjoy that.
I love it.
He's just so sweet and just like so 100% giving his all to her. And I'm just like, yes.
Okay, it makes me feel a little better about it, but not by much, Tracy, because it is awkward.
Oh boy. Oh
no.
boy.
So I'm not going to veto this. She didn't come at me with that horrible movie. 5-Star Christmas is great, fabulous, and the counter scene is worth it alone to be number 2.
Okay, it's got Elizabeth's seal of approval. Erin, what about you? 5-Star Christmas at number 2.
So I had it at number 1. I adore Bethany Joy Lenz. I think and I know this is a Victor Webster draft, obviously, but I thought the two of them were magical together. The scene when she goes outside and she almost like hits him with the giant candy cane, and then they sit down and they talk and they have this really great heart-to-heart conversation. It just felt organic. It felt earned. It didn't feel forced. I think that was probably my favorite scene of the movie. I wish it was at number one, but I'm not going to veto it because obviously Elizabeth won't play it at number one. So we'll be happy with it at number two.
All right, we've got 5-Star Christmas at number 2. Here's the state of the list. Matchmaker Mysteries, A Fatal Romance at 10. At 9, Magic Stocking. At 8, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. At 7, Puppy Love. At 6, A Harvest Wedding. At 5, The Wedding Veil Legacy. At 4, A Mystery. Elizabeth pumps her hand every time I say The Wedding Veil.
As I should.
As you should. At 4, Mystery on Mistletoe Lane. At 3, Love Blossoms. At 2, 5-Star Christmas. And that brings us to Elizabeth, who is going to throw down her choice for number 1. What's it going to be?
Now, wouldn't you be shocked if I came out with Home for Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Yeah.
But I'm not, because that would be horrific. And it has to be Summer Villa. Hands down.
Well, Summer Villa, hands down, Summer Villa, 2016. Hilary Burton is Terry. Vic Webster is Matthew. A romance novel. Oh, I see what you did there. A romance novelist, Terry, has writer's block, and a celebrity chef, Matthew, is suffering from a bad review, accidentally end up staying at the same French villa for the summer. It's actually his family. As they attempt to share the house and mend their personal lives, they find that what they're really missing is more of a personal matter. Elizabeth, tell us about this movie.
So we'll get this out of the way. He is a total tool in the beginning of this movie. He is. And it's ludicrous that a teenager is showing a top chef some tricks in the kitchen. Absolutely ludicrous. Get it. But the chemistry. Victor leaning against the car, waiting for her outside. Everybody get an ice cube, because that is just fabulous. There is a lot of lovely moments. I'm not even going to mention all of the, pool scenes where Victor is swimming in just swim trunks. I'm just saying, fabulous. There's hot chocolate in a soup bowl. There's good food. There's a food fight. There's fantastic flirting. I mean, the chemistry comes down to just amazing between these two actors. They did such a good job. So, and the kiss at the end. The kiss at the end, kids. Come on. That earns you number 1 right from the get-go.
Victor Webster in a pool, Victor Webster on a pool float. I'll take.
Lives rent-free in my mind, in my head.
Right?
Yes.
Victor Webster in the pool, near the car, cooking.
I could overlook all of the wait whats. I'm an avid cook and baker. I could overlook all of those wait whats with the daughter. The one thing that fascinated me, and I had to watch this scene a couple of times, Vic, as I've said, Vic Webster, according to his, IMD stuff, he's 6'5". I couldn't figure out how uncomfortable he must have been in that little tiny sports car with his knees and riding the bike. That bike was like, I don't think we actually ever saw him pedal. I could be wrong about that, but it just
there had to be
like
a shoehorn involved
Yeah.
in both of those
something
things.
involved. What a great movie, in my little humble opinion. But my opinion doesn't count. It's Jenna's opinion that counts first and foremost right now. What do you think of Summer Villa at number 1?
It was my number 1, so I'm very happy. So, again, everything Elizabeth said, like their chemistry was just incredible. It's been a while since I've watched the movies, but I think, and I swear this was the only movie that he said, "I love you" at the end, and that she said the same thing. So don't quote me on that, but I think from like all the rest of them, there's the only one that used that at the end of the 17. So it's just, again, just, him in a pool, cooking is just, whatever. I liked how he would, again, with the daughter, with the character, the thing that I noticed in all the movies too, and it has to be reflective of who he is as a person, is that his character is always like, been, open the door for the main character, or help put the coat on the main character, or like the woman, or things like that. And I think that's very good when you see that throughout the movies. I think that's very sweet because you don't see that in a lot of the movies, you know, that we watch or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the storyline was good. The chemistry was off the charts. So yeah, I'm good with it at 1.
Chemistry totally off the charts. Jenna's good with it at number 1. Erin, it is all up to you. Is Somerville going to stay at number 1, or do you have other thoughts and want to veto it?
No, it'll stay at number 1. Absolutely. It's beautiful movie. I mean, who doesn't love Hillary Burton, right? She's great. But everything y'all said about Victor Webster is spot on, and the chemistry's amazing. The movie's great. The scenery's beautiful. Yeah, we're good. I love it.
You're good. You love it. Tracy, are we good? Did you love it?
Yes. I had number 2. I had 5-star
too.
number 1, but these could go either way. Like,
Yep.
So yeah, like I said, those pool scenes live rent free in my mind all the time.
They really do. So before we get to the panelists sharing with us their personal top 10 lists, once again, as I always do, I forgot to mention the host side hustle at the top of the show. It's like a blind spot with me because I always lose. But Tracy and I, as the hosts, we exchanged our own personal top ranked 10 lists before we started recording, and we're just trying to see how many of our picks get onto your list. They don't have to be in the same ranked position necessarily. But Tracy, what was your top 10 list and how did you do?
Let's see, I had 5-star Christmas at 1. I guess I should do 10 to 1, but I guess it doesn't matter. Somerville at 2. Mystery on Mistletoe Lane was 3. Harvest Wedding was 4. Love Blossoms was 5. Wedding Veil Legacy was 6. Magic Stocking was 7. Matchmaker Mysteries A Killer Engagement was 8. Cookie Catastrophe was 9. And Matchmaker Fatal Romance was 10. So I got 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Wow. Okay. So listeners, this is a great example of why I'd never mentioned the host side hustle. So at 10, I had Matchmaker Mysteries, The Art of the Kill. I have a degree in art history, so that one appealed to me. It's in an art museum. At 9, for my friend Elizabeth, The Wedding Veil Journey, which did not make it onto the list. At 8, One Bad Apple, the new one with the Hannah Swenson mystery, the one that just came out. At 7, Hearts of Winter. We didn't talk about that one, but that's okay. At 6, I was not lying. I don't know why I put it on the list. I was just having a dog moment. Puppy Love. At 5, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. At 4, Love Blossoms. At 3, Harvest Wedding. My number 2 and number 1 were interchangeable. I debated about it. I prayed about it, but 2 ended up being a 5-star Christmas, and at 1 was Summer Villa. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the list, but 2 of them were in the same position as ranked. Not that that counts, but there you have it. So congratulations, Tracy. You won. Good job. You get bragging.
Yay, Tracy!
Yay, Tracy. All right. So let's start with Elizabeth. Why don't you tell us your personal top 10 list, starting with number 10 and going up to number 1, the one that you submitted.
I had Homegrown Christmas at number 10, Wedding Veil Journey at number 9, Hearts of Winter at 8, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe at 7, 5-star Christmas. I had The Wedding Veil Legacy at 5, if only just to make Dan's soul cringe. Harvest Wedding at 4, Love Blossoms at 3, Magic Stocking at 2, and Summer Villa at 1.
Yeah, great list. So you had Hearts of Winter on your list, just like I did. So that's a 2020 with Jill Wagner. That's a Jill Wagner, Vic Webster thing. What did you like about that movie?
I mean, again, the two of them together are really great. He's very grumpy at first, and then he goes to bossy, which I wasn't crazy about, but the chemistry between Jill and Victor Webster, it really works. There was a nice progression of his character. Again, we had another teenage, daughter in there that seems to work very well for their kind of, chemistry as well. He's great with kids, at least, as his characters are. So that's what I kind of liked about it. They've just got, really good back and forth. They feel comfortable with each other.
Yeah, they do. It's like a home makeover sort of plot to the whole thing. Okay, great. So Erin, what was your top 10 list? If you start with number 10 and go up to 1, please.
10 was Matchmaker Mysteries, A Fatal Romance. 9 was Puppy Love. 8, A Harvest Wedding. 7, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. 6, The Wedding Veil Legacy. 5, Mystery on Mistletoe Lane. 4, Hearts of Winter. 3, Love Blossoms. 2, Summer Villa, and 1, 5-Star Christmas. I really debated between 1 and 2. I couldn't make up my mind, but
It was tough, right?
it was very tough. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of roll the dice or flip the phone, as
Right.
Jenna and Elizabeth would do. Let's just flip our phones and see what comes
Yep.
up. Okay, Jenna, what was your personal top 10?
Okay, so 10 I was debating between 2, but I settled on Home for Christmas Day is with Catherine Bell. I just thought they had good chemistry. So some of the other ones that, didn't make the list, I just thought they had better chemistry than some of the other movies that were there. Then at 9, Magic Stocking. 8, Harvest Wedding. 7, Matchmaker, The Art of the Kill. 6, Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. 5, Love Blossoms. 4, Mystery and Magic Lane. 3, Wedding Veil Legacy. 2, 5-Star Christmas, and 1, Summer Villa.
Awesome. Good job. Home for Christmas Day at number 10. Interesting choice. So Tracy, math whiz, teacher extraordinaire, why don't you tell us what everybody's score was? So they get 1 point for every movie from the personal list that made it onto the final list, and then they get a bonus point if it's in the same position on the final list. Is there? So
it's all, you guys were all separated by 1 point each. So it was
tough match.
So this whole praying about number 1 and number 2 came into play here. Okay. So with 10 points was Elizabeth. With 11 points, it was Erin. And our rookie, Jenna, wins today's round with 12.
Yeah.
Good job, Jenna.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Awesome job.
I called it. I told you she was going to kick all our butts.
It was so close though. I was like looking at, because it was the Summer Villa 5-star. Everybody was like, I have it this order. I have it this order. I have it this order. So she had them both in the same place. So she got the 2 bonus points for that.
Well, thanks for that, because really I thought in my head, geez, if I had gotten rid of Puppy Love. I just gotten rid of Puppy Love.
Sometimes you bite the dog, sometimes the dog bites you. No, I don't think anybody bites a dog.
Go there.
I was trying to come up with an analogy, and that's not going to work. But what's amazing is, so Jenna, congratulations. So you can compete in the championship coming up in January. But the astonishing thing is how many vetoes are left over in this draft. Elizabeth, you didn't use any, so you have 2 to carry over to your next time. Jenna, you only had 1 veto to start out with, and you've still got that veto in your pocket to use for when you come back in 2025 for the Mystery Series draft. And Erin, you have 1 veto and a veto override to use again, because you only used the extra veto that you had. So way to go, guys. Way to go. This is such a great list. Thank you for doing this. It was such a blast. Tracy, you're just amazing. I can't thank you enough for jumping in and helping out. Listeners, be sure to follow Hallmark Movie Drafts wherever you get your pods, that you don't miss out on the fun. Coming up in July is the eagerly awaited Wes Brown draft. Erin's going to be drafting in that. Again, thanks to my brain freeze and rescheduling everything. So once more, for the final time, here's the definitive list of the 10 best Victor Webster Hallmark movies as drafted by Elizabeth, Erin, and Jenna. Here we go. At 10, Matchmaker Mysteries, A Fatal Romance. At 9, Magic Stocking. At 8, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. At 7, Puppy Love. At 6, A Harvest Wedding. At 5, The Wedding Veil Legacy. At 4, Mystery on Mistletoe Lane. At 3, Love Blossoms. At 2, 5-Star Christmas. And at number 1, Summer Villa. Great job, everybody. Thanks again. Let's all say bye.
Well, Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.
Wedding Veil is on this list. I can't believe it. Hallmark Movie Drafts is a monthly production. Stephanie Purcell creates the movie synopses using descriptions from IMDb or Hallmark.com as a base. Kate Baca vets the list of eligible movies and manages our Letterboxd account called Hallmark Drafts, where you'll find the list of eligible movies for each show, as well as the final top 10 lists and the panelists who drafted them. Erinbeth Cermak creates the Where to Watch lists and the trivia round questions, and along with Stephanie and Kate, provides additional creative, research, and hosting support. I'm Lynn Austin. I'm the showrunner, producer, and host. I staff the panels, create the show topics, manage the production schedule and the HMD socials, and edit and publish the podcast. Intro and outro music is provided courtesy of Amato Zapana. Thank you to the Deck The Hallmark double-deckers who share their passionate opinions on these Hallmark movies that we love, or maybe not love, so much.